Adequate service delivery to the people of KwaZulu Natal is the focus of the province's newly assembled government, which hopes to be tackling poverty, unemployment as well as violent crime in the province. The government's program of action will be designed this week by the provincial executive heads of departments as well as CEOs of government-owned entities during a two-day lekgotla that's underway in Durban. Our reporter Siphamandla Goge live for us now from Durban watching this gathering. Siphamandla, so have any original and new ideas come out of the gathering so far?
Not yet. We have just had a rehash of the previous lekgotlas as well as the manifesto of the ANC, which is the governing party in KwaZulu Natal. They say they would focus on job creation, on dealing with unemployment and also service delivery. But the missing question there, or the missing link, is the how part. How do they plan to do that? Sihle Zikalala says they will accelerate service delivery. He says there is no room for lazy and corrupt officials in his administration. This is what he had to say about the provision of services in KwaZulu Natal.
We need to prioritize areas that are highly affected and ensure that we run a program to ensure that services are delivered to those people. Well, in some areas, the main problem is around water, which we have a plan that will be unveiling and will be consolidating here and will unveil soon. We've done well on electricity. We've done well on provision of sanitation, even in rural areas, though there are still areas that are outstanding. The second problem is the whole issue of creation of jobs, and that affects almost all areas, especially the youth. Of 27% people who are unemployed, the majority are young people. So we'll be consolidating our plan on what will be the program to deal with the program of creation of jobs.
Siphamandla, we've been speaking about the economy and the creation of jobs in KwaZulu Natal, and that brings to mind the issue of these freight trucks which have been attacked along the N3 and Satellite. How high up on the agenda is that as we discuss the economic situation in KZN?
It's very high on the agenda. Earlier on, I asked Sihle Zikalala about it. He says they are working with law enforcement agencies to ensure that perpetrators or those who touch trucks in KwaZulu Natal are brought to book. I also interviewed one economist, that is Professor Bonke Dumisa, who said to me the touching of trucks on the N3, which is a corridor, by the way, it's very strategic because it links KwaZulu Natal, the Free State, as well as Gauteng. He says it's tantamount, or it amounts to what he calls economic sabotage. He says more needs to be done to deal with that because it has indeed affected the provincial economy. This is what Professor Bonke Dumisa had to say about that issue, Tembegile.
One thing which is very promising for the province on that one is that the Premier of KwaZulu Natal, together with the Minister of Police nationally and the Minister of Home Affairs and the Minister of Transport, are all working closely together to make sure that this whole issue of the touching of trucks in this province is dealt with once and for all. And in his address, he made it quite clear that such things cannot be tolerated. Because let me add something then, which he did not necessarily mention today, but which we all know. KwaZulu Natal, the Durban harbour, is the largest harbour in Africa, and it is the gateway to Southern Africa and to the African continent. So if ever people are allowed to tamper with the trucking industry, that is tantamount to economic sabotage.
Another issue, Siphamandla, of great anger or cause of great anger in parts of the country is around the delivery of services, and key to that are well-run, functioning municipalities. What is KZN going to do to ensure that its municipalities are running optimally, given that we've seen issues around water provision as well as just other services which are in a shoddy state currently?
Absolutely. KwaZulu Natal has seen a spate of service delivery protests. That was before the elections. People in KwaZulu Natal mainly complain about water, and also when it comes to refuse collection. In Umlazi, for instance, the biggest township in the province, they are facing that challenge. Sihle Zikalala says they will be addressing that. The state of some municipalities in the province has been questioned. Our viewers will recall that the capital city, Umsunduzi, in Pietermaritzburg, is under administration as we speak. The only metro in KwaZulu Natal, eThekwini, is facing leadership and governance issues there. The mayor was arrested out on a 50,000 rand bail. We have seen some service delivery protests in eThekwini. In Newcastle, there is a leadership vacuum there. The mayor was arrested on murder charges. He's out on a 20,000 rand bail. There is no deputy mayor and speaker because both of them have taken their seats at the National Assembly. There are service delivery issues in Newcastle as well. So local government and municipalities will be discussed here tomorrow, and then Sihlezi Galala says they will change the way they do things around the local government sphere because it is the cold face of service delivery and it's been plagued by issues of corruption, allegations of corruption and lack of service delivery, which has led to service delivery protests.
On manufacturing and the industrial side of the economy as special economic zones. And I think it's an area that's well recognized, that's underperformed over the last few years. And it's really important that that sector, the secondary sector of the economy, gets built and that we create new investment in new sectors that have long-term future and sectors that can create jobs and really impact on the economy. That's a key focus of ours.